I'm going to go by my paper here just to go through it, this speech in a way where you will better understand my Icelandic accent. So, Honorable Secretaries, Redding and Siger, esteemed guests. Good afternoon. I am Gunnar Birgisson, the founder and CEO of Reykjavik Creamery. Today, we are honored to welcome Secretary Redding from the Department of Agriculture and Secretary Siger from the Department of Community and Economic Development. As you may notice from my accent, I am originally from Iceland. The concept behind Reykjavik Creamery took root many years ago, but wasn't until 2016 that I began actively seeking a potential production partner in America for my dairy product that I had developed in Iceland and Denmark. My initial search for a production partner began in California. However, after a very welcoming meeting with David Briel and Russell Redding, among others, in 2017, I became convinced that Pennsylvania was the ideal location for my business vision. Long story short, following several unexpected twists and turns and incredible support from this community, we are here today to highlight the importance of agriculture and manufacturing for the Pennsylvania economy. Reykjavik Creamery made its first product in late 2019, shortly before the COVID-19 pandemic, which complicated our startup considerably. However, we utilized the COVID-19 period effectively by training new employees, developing new dairy products, and overcoming technical challenges that can always be anticipated in plant startups. During this time, we continued to be energized by keeping our goal in mind, which is to be a modern mid-sized dairy processor specializing in making premium dairy products in an efficient manner. We started from zero with no customers, but this January we processed almost 1.5 million pounds of milk, marking a 55% growth from the previous year and 195% increase from 2 years ago. This volume is approximately equivalent to 22 full tanker loads of milk. As a manufacturer for cultured dairy products, we are committed to making a positive impact on our community, including the dairy farmers in Pennsylvania. We use their high-quality milk to create new premium dairy products for the American consumer, sold nationwide. This wouldn't be possible without our incredible employees, customers, and other key players like contractors, suppliers, truck drivers, investors, and financial institutions, some of whom are with us here today. The dairy grant we received from the Pennsylvania government in 2020 was more than just financial support. It served as a warm and sincere gesture of welcome from the people of Pennsylvania. Our claim to fame is skyr, a traditional Icelandic cultured dairy product made for centuries. We now produce this product with ultrafiltration technology that was developed in Iceland but proudly made here in America. As many of you probably know, the name Reykjavik refers to the capital of Iceland. Our business reflects a tradition dating back to the Vikings' first settlement in Iceland, an era when Leif Erikson set sail on a journey to America. Well, now we have returned, and there is every reason to be optimistic about this journey too. Today, I'm excited to express our support for Governor Josh Shapiro's economic development plan. Reykjavik Creamery aims to play a key role in Pennsylvania's dairy industry by being a manufacturer of choice with expansion plans and significant investments in the near future. And by doing that, we are emphasizing our commitment to growth and job creation in Pennsylvania. Secretaries Redding and Siger, your presence highlights the crucial roles of agriculture, economic development, and community building in Pennsylvania. We express deep gratitude for the support you're showing by being here today. In closing, I express profound gratitude for the warm reception our business has received in Pennsylvania. Reykjavik Creamery intends to rise under the trust we've been shown and stand for positive change by collaborating with the next generation of entrepreneurs to develop outstanding dairy products for the health-conscious consumer. Now I would like to invite Secretary Siger to the podium to share a few words about this new initiative where agriculture and manufacturing will be the main focus.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. That was great. Really great. Wow. Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here with my colleague, Secretary Redding. Gunnar, thank you for having us. You're going to hear from some terrific people, Haley, Daniar, Ryan Unger, and others. I know we're joined here by county commissioners, by local elected officials from this area. Thank you for being here and for your support and in coming to learn a little bit about what we're talking about today. Because as you may know, earlier this week, Governor Josh Shapiro unveiled Pennsylvania's first comprehensive 10-year economic development strategy in almost 2 decades. And actually, I'm really glad we're here at Reykjavik Creamery. In some ways, this is the perfect venue to come talk about it in the central part of the state. As Gunnar said, this company started in Iceland, it was in Denmark, it spent some time in California, and it ended up home here in Pennsylvania. I think you all at this company know exactly what it means to do business here and how we stack up compared to other places in the country and around the world. And indeed, working with companies like Reykjavik Creamery is a major part of our thriving agricultural industry and why we're focused on agriculture as part of the plan going forward. So thank you again for having us today. Really, really appreciate it. So I got to say, this has been a really exciting week for us in the Shapiro administration, and particularly in the Department of Community and Economic Development. On Tuesday, 2 days ago, in the Lehigh Valley, we unveiled the economic development strategy that my colleagues and I have been working on for months now. The governor charged us with coming up with a plan that identifies and responds to the needs of our most critical industries, which include energy and life sciences and robotics and manufacturing and, of course, agriculture. And our goal was to put together a plan that would help Pennsylvania compete, not just nationally, but globally. The governor said it well himself on Tuesday. He's sick and tired of losing job creation projects to other states. From day one, he said that needs to change, and to change it, we need a plan. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Our economic development plan is a blueprint for not really incremental change, but transformational change for how we do this work, through sound policymaking, through substantial investment in the areas we need it most. We've identified 5 core goals that are the pillars of our strategy moving forward. Number 1, we've got to invest in our economic growth to compete. For example, you're here next week. Governor Shapiro proposed make a significant call for resources in site development in his budget address next week. Number 2, we've got to continue to make our government work at the speed of business. We've got to refine our internal structure, cut red tape, and make sure that we are working at the pace businesses need us to work. Number 3, we've got to open doors of opportunity for everyone in Pennsylvania. Fundamentally, this is about people. And in among other ways, we want to invest in apprenticeships and education. Number 4, we believe we've got to innovate to win. We want to create an innovation fund in Pennsylvania to keep us on the leading edge of developing new technologies, not just in our cities, but in all over Pennsylvania. And then number 5, we've got to build vibrant and resilient regions. Every place in Pennsylvania matters, and we want to invest in downtowns and main streets and small businesses to make sure that all of Pennsylvania can thrive. I should say that details of these initiatives and more are laid out in this strategy, a 10-year economic development plan, which I'd encourage you to read, and that you can find yourself at our brand new business-facing marketing website, pagetitdone.com. We also need to double down in areas where we're true leaders. And one of those areas is Pennsylvania's agriculture sector. And while I'm sure Secretary Redding will say something about this in a few minutes, I wanted to just say a couple things. Agriculture in all its forms is in Pennsylvania's DNA. It creates huge value for our economy each year. And in fact, we're the fourth largest producer of food products in the country. That's why when we looked at our assets and strengths and mapped this plan, we specifically identified agriculture as a key target for investment, a priority industry sector. One where we should focus on strengthening our position as a natural leader and growing in the years ahead. And that's why, as Governor Shapiro mentioned earlier this week, he'll call for a $10 million investment in the Agriculture Innovation Program to support innovation in his budget address next week. Moving forward with this strategy unleashed, we now have a long-term economic development playbook for the first time in really almost 20 years. And I want to assure you that this report will not just sit on a shelf. In fact, even as we started work on the strategy, we've been taking action on our most pressing needs. For example, we've invested in site development substantially through our new PA Sites pilot program this year. We've incentivized well over $1.2 billion in private sector investment across Pennsylvania. And as I mentioned a second ago, just this week, we unveiled a new business-facing website, pagetitdone.com, to streamline the process of marketing our Commonwealth to businesses, real estate professionals, and others around the world. As I wrap up here and we hear from other speakers, we're moving in an exciting direction at DCED and indeed across our partners in the Commonwealth. But I want to be really clear. State government cannot do this work alone. We have been intently focused throughout the process of creating this plan on collaboration with the business community, with the agriculture community, as well as the economic development folks, organized labor, higher education, local governments, legislative partners, and the nonprofit sector to develop this plan. In fact, we've gotten advice for this plan and feedback from all 67 counties across Pennsylvania to help inform our work. Our hope is that by putting it out into the world, our partners in the private sector and across Pennsylvania can see themselves in this strategy too, and find common cause with the governor's ambitious goals. Because we can only increase our competitiveness and grow our economy if we're working together. And we only succeed if our plan works for the entire Commonwealth. I'm really energized and ready to get to work. And while it's fair to say our team is clear-eyed about the significant challenges ahead, we're more committed than ever to help making Pennsylvania a better place to live, work, play, and innovate. This is indeed an exciting time for Pennsylvania. I cannot wait to get going and prove to businesses all around the world that Pennsylvania gets it done. I encourage you to take a look at that strategy again, pagetitdone.com, and thank you again for having me today. Really excited to learn more about your business on the tour. Thanks again.
Thank you for your excellent speech. So next, I want to invite this young lady here, Haley Painter. She is one of the two very famous Painterland sisters. She or your sister gave us a call about 2.5 years ago in making an inquiry about doing something good with their family farm's milk. Well, we know the rest of the history. They have been on the 30 Forbes list, hugely successful. Really proud to have her as our client here. Please take the podium.
Thank you guys for all coming out. And where are we today? We're in the middle of an organic dairy farm and a processing plant in Pennsylvania. How amazing is that we all get to come? Political, business owners, farmers. So I'm a fourth generation dairy farmer, and I'm also a co-founder of a national yogurt brand, one of the fastest growing in the entire country, based right here in Pennsylvania. A lot of times when you hear Dairy farmer, you might not think of something that can affect the entire nation, but it is true. Farmers, dairy farmers, we're the backbone of society. When talking about this plan, it affects energy, life sciences, agriculture, and all of these are things that farmers directly affect, provide ingredients for, yield themselves. Farmers provide food, fiber, and fuel for our entire country. And here in Pennsylvania, we have the unique opportunity because we're so diverse. We have great farmers who can provide food, who provide bulk commodity products. We're number one in a lot of different areas. I keep hearing it and I get fueled by Josh Shapiro talking about all these things. And you guys should too. Being in Pennsylvania is a prideful thing. And I'm excited for this future and this opportunity because of the groundwork that's being laid. And so what I hope for is opportunity of coming together, starting with the farmer, building its way up, connecting all of these different industries, because we can be a voice. Painterland Sisters is our organic Siger yogurt brand. We started 2 years ago, and now we're nationwide in every state but Alaska. We produced over 2.2 million cups of yogurt last year. It's 2.2 million times we got to get our yogurt from farmers right here in Pennsylvania in the Northeast into people's hands around the country, including Hawaii, Texas, Washington. These are opportunities that Pennsylvania can tell the story of agriculture and being the root of great opportunities in the future. And so I'm really fueled. The word is energized today, and that's exactly right. So let's give it up for the farmers and agriculture, and that's exactly why they're at the base of this, because our farmers affect our rural communities, and our rural communities affect our cities. And with that, we can really make a difference, not just here for our state, but our entire country. So thank you.
Thank you, Haley, for your excellent speech, encouragement for hopefully all dairy farmers in Pennsylvania. Next, I want to invite Ryan Unger from the Harrisburg Regional Chamber. Please, welcome.
Good afternoon. Again, my name is Ryan Unger. I'm the president and CEO of the Harrisburg Regional Chamber in Creedick, serving Cumberland, Dauphin, and Perry counties. And Gunnar, I was struck by your story. You came here because of great service provided by the secretary's team, but also certainly because of our great assets here, right? And our great strong dairy assets that we have here in the Pennsylvania. And I'm reminded of over 100 years ago, a guy by the name of Milton Hershey, who had the same vision, right? You know, he came here because of the great assets that we have in this region. And we're excited you're here, and we thank you for your investment here in the region. As Secretary Siger said, this is the first time in 20 years that we have an opportunity like this before us. I've had the good fortune to be doing economic development work for 20 years. Back in my hometown, I started back when I couldn't even grow a beard, right? And we talked then about the need for a strategy, the need for some leadership in economic development during those times. I think we've always known that we've got the pieces to be really successful in economic development here in the region and throughout the Commonwealth. But what it's required is leadership, and we've got that with Governor Shapiro and Secretary Siger, Secretary Redding, and what they're doing, putting pen to paper on the strategy. But as Secretary Siger said, it can't be done alone, and we're here to pledge our support to work with his team, but also work across the board with our other local economic development partners like CADIC, with Janet Anderson, the Cumberland Area Economic Development Corporation. We need support from our elected officials. We have our Cumberland County Commissioners here with us today as well. And we need to do it with a strong entrepreneurial business community, which I think you see represented here too. So we're excited. I think we're energized as well, Haley, and we're really excited to get it done as well. So thanks for the chance to be here.
Yes, thank you for your excellent speech, and again, encouragement to the business opportunities here in Pennsylvania. So next I would like to invite Daniel Chukin. He is the CEO of Nor Organics, and actually our first customer here in 2019. He's started actually with a different brand first, but came to Nor Organics and has done some excellent work with that. And we are very pleased to work with you, Daniel, and please say a few words here.
Thanks, Gunnar, Don. I really appreciate the opportunity to provide a company perspective. I'm the CEO of Nor Organic. We've been producing, as Gunnar mentioned, pretty much from the beginning. And I've had a chance to see the plant grow and develop. One thing I can say, and I have about probably 10 plus years of experience working in the yogurt industry now. Here and in other states, there really isn't a plant that operates at this level in other states on the East Coast or here in Pennsylvania, so it's really a pocket of excellence here, talking in a big regional context. Since we came here, we've started working with Pennsylvania organic farmers. We work with the Lanco Penland Co-op, on occasion with Organic Valley. We've had a chance to learn about their processes, their life, their families, and it's an honor to work with Pennsylvania farmers. These are incredible people. So I fully subscribe to everything Haley said about farmers as a backbone of this country, of the economy. Finally, I just want to say that this, for me personally, is a pretty special occasion. I'm not a little bit surprised, to be honest. I'm from Kazakhstan originally. I never expected to be founder of a yogurt company, to be doing it with an Icelandic entrepreneur, to be doing it in Pennsylvania. So without being too dramatic, I think there's something regarding the magic of America there where these things come together in a way which is hard to imagine somewhere else. Icelandic technology, capital, leadership, American management, and Kazakhstani startup initiative. I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy. It's really crazy, and that's why I'm so thankful to Don and to Gunnar for making it possible. Having been here from the beginning, it's been really impressive, and I know that going forward, it's only going to get better. There's a bright future ahead. To Secretary Reiger, to Secretary Reagan, I want to say thank you for shining a light on our little corner of the economy, on our sector. I really think dairy can be a powerful catalyst for economic growth, for employment, and not just within the narrow confines of ag, but in adjacent sectors as well, like the print shop locally, a marketing agency somewhere. It really drives growth. So thank you again. Thanks for this. Yep.
Yes, Daniel, in many ways, a remarkable story. Here we are. He's from Kazakhstan, and I'm from Iceland, and we're all here together, working together with a common goal of creating opportunities in this remarkable state, Pennsylvania. Next, Honorable Secretary Russell Reddy.
There comes a point in a program where you just stop. You can't tell the story any better than this. I love this story, right? It's about the entrepreneurial spirit. It's folks who have taken, a raw product. They have taken the science and the knowledge and the risk, and they produce these amazing products, right? And they've come from around the world, and they've blended these talents in so many ways. It's a wonderful story, and I just want to say thank you to each of you for doing what you're doing, for taking that launch and seeing the opportunity inside of your own business and families in this state. It is inspiring in so many ways, so thank you for what you do. We could spend a lot of time talking about dairy today, but this story is about all of Pennsylvania agriculture. And I'm really proud to be here with Secretary Siger and the DCED team at large. We have been partners across time, But this strategy also makes the partnership, very sort of intimate, in the sense that what we do in the Department of Agriculture and our industries is directly tied to the success of what DCED strategy is, right? And what happens in manufacturing will define what happens in agriculture. What happens in energy will define what we do in ag. So I like the way the governor and the DCED team have built the strategy. It is codependent, much like the stories we just heard. They are interwoven in their success. They are dependent upon each other. That's what this strategy for Pennsylvania is about. So I'm pleased to be part of that. I'm going to say thank you to all of the partners who are here. Each of you are here for a reason. In the economic development community, and your leaders in township and boroughs and the legislature. I see you here. We interact in so many ways, but the success of this plan will be determined by the partnerships, right? And making sure that we, as a Department of Ag and a Department of DCED and the Governor Shapiro, the whole team, are focused on the success of our local communities. The regional aspect that Secretary Siger mentioned, I think, is one of the real stars of the plan. It forces us to think about where you source milk from. Think about where the markets are. Think about the folks who are coming together to produce the product, but also who consume the product. That's a regional perspective. That's a national perspective. That is inside of this plan. We have had success over the years, but what I'm excited about is we now have a strategy. We now have a plan that we can execute against, that we can talk to the legislature about in terms of where to invest and how to invest. How do we ensure that we're making the right investments? That we talk about agriculture as foundational to this state and this nation. It is critical. We see that every day. How many folks here like to eat, by the way? Yeah. It's the simplest piece. But as I look out this window and see the open lands and what is happening out here, the forest lands, everything I passed to get here, right? Cumberland County has got this beautiful sort of mosaic of industries. But this is Pennsylvania, right? And all of that is inside of what we want to do with our forest lands and what we want to do with food processing, all of the crops and commodities, the dairies, the output pieces, the food processing. That is also inside this strategy. But it's also connected, right? The strategy connects us. It connects us inside of our research work. It connects us inside of the workforce development efforts. It connects us into our policy work in both the state and the national policies around food and agriculture. It connects us to the things that we have been doing, like leading the nation in farmland preservation. There's not another state in the nation that has preserved more farms or more land than Pennsylvania. We have more young farmers under the age of 35 than any other state in the nation. We're number one in a lot of things. We're number one in forest products. We're number 3 in organic sales. We're number 2 in direct market. It's connecting us. The strategy connects us. That's the beauty of it. And I very much appreciate the way the governor's framed this and Secretary Siger, is that we need a strategy. We're connected, but it's also codependent. And how we manage that and work through the next 10 years as the plan lays out will be critical to defining success, not just of the plan, but of Pennsylvania. So we're excited about it. I am ready to go. I love this story that we have to tell, and I get fueled, to use Haley's words, by Governor Shapiro and the vision he's had for agriculture. Been with him many times. And it's organic in the sense of his appreciation for food and agriculture. It comes out strongly, right? We'll see that in the budget. We see it inside of this plan. Just a note about the innovation program. We have never had an ag innovation program. We've got innovators, we've got funding sources, we have folks who are doing a lot of really important things, but have never been able to sort of have a single fund that allows us to make an investment in agricultural innovation. That is different. That is important. It is the fuel to this strategy for agriculture. So we have a lot of ideas about how that'll happen. We've been thinking hard about both the strategy, but also our role in spawning that innovation. But it looks like this. It looks like people who see the opportunity here in America, who see the opportunity in Pennsylvania, and are collaborative in their work to bring the right people together to allow that to happen. So we are excited about it. Look forward to the journey of the strategy, but also what it will produce for Pennsylvania. So thank you.
Well, Secretary Redding, thank you so much for your very nice words, and it shows what a passion you have for the agriculture here in Pennsylvania. And I want to say that too, that Redding can take some credit from us being here today. He supported, gave me a very positive meeting in the beginning here, and then we obviously were fortunate to get a grant support here in 2020, and honestly that made a huge difference for us right in the middle of COVID, and so that was where we saw the light at the end of the tunnel. And I want to thank Russell specifically for that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But let me, I'm going to tell the rest of the story. This guy shows up in a ski jacket in 2016 or 2017, remember?
Yep.
In a little conference room talking about this new yogurt. He had a vision. I couldn't really understand him. Right? But he had a vision. He was very passionate about it. And never deviated from that vision, and came to us and asked a really simple ask about helping to find producers and find organic producers and find raw milk and all of that. So I often think about those little encounters and the chance moments that you meet somebody who's got this amazing vision for what he wanted to do, but he saw a connection to us in agriculture. So always value those conversations and that passion and vision for agriculture. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. I think I was supposed to ask for questions and comments and entertain any comments from the press, but also team here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I think we could take a couple of comments from questions from the press, Secretary Redding and I. And if you have any hard ones, we'll just ask Kayla to answer those. Just any questions from the press?
Hi, question from WVIA News. I'm just kind of wondering, what is that Ag Innovation Fund that you're talking about? And is that the same thing as this newly created Pennsylvania Innovation Fund?
Why don't you say something about the Ag Fund?
Yeah, I can speak to the Ag Innovation Fund. That's the one I'm familiar with. If there's another.
Yeah, I'll chime
okay,
in, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so as I mentioned in the comments, I mean, the Ag Innovation Fund is new. It is designed to deal with the innovation. The emphasis is on innovation, right? That could be in the energy space, the conservation space, the work of farm level innovations that much like you see here, and that'll be set up in a grant program. All those details are still to be worked out, but it's included in the governor's proposed budget.
Yeah, and in terms of the Pennsylvania Innovation Fund, the theory in the plan is innovation as a theme, right? And so while the governor's put forward the specific Ag Innovation Fund, we think of innovation in particular around talent development, infrastructure development, the kind of R&D that happens in Pennsylvania as really driving growth. And we want to make sure we have flexible funding to support great new ideas. And it's one of the marquee recommendations that the plan moves forward in the innovation space. So thanks. Other questions? All right, let's take a tour. You want to kick off our tour here? Yep. Thanks, folks.
Yeah. Just real quick. Yeah, my name's Don Everett, and I'll be leading the tour today. It's a real pleasure to be included in this, and been working with Gunnar since the beginning. So I originally, although I'm the CEO today, I started as the project manager here, so I often sat up in this conference room by myself, meeting with just maybe one or two subcontractors, trying to get this launched with Gunnar. So it's exciting to be here. Some of the things you're going to be seeing today, we have the ultrafiltration machine. We made a recent expansion to that as well, so that's very cutting edge technology. So I'm excited to show you that Icelandic technology that's been brought to the US. We also have a brand new filler out there. The one you see running is I wish you were here 3 weeks later, because we're going to have this brand new one going. It's going to be anywhere from 33 to 600% more efficient than our current one. So I'm very excited to show you that too. And then the last thing that I'm very excited to show you is our employees here. And I think one of the things that when I was reading about Josh Shapiro's plan, I was very excited that they're linking business with education and trying to grow that aspect too. Because although we've made several $1 million of investments this year, we're going to make another $1 million worth of investments in the next 12 to 18 months for increased capacity. I think one of our biggest concerns is people. So I'm excited to show you our employees. I'm excited that that's part of this plan too, and a very critical part. Just a couple things to think about. When we go downstairs, we're going to kind of split into 2 groups. We also have Siger over here to taste, so if you haven't done that yet, be sure to do that. When you go downstairs, I'm going to have another gentleman help me, and we're going to have to suit up in a lab coat and booties and a hairnet. And then there's hearing protection available if you need it, but we're going to be in there very briefly, so I don't think you'll need it. And then if you have any loose jewelry or anything, just put it in your pockets, and I can go over that downstairs too. But excited to show you what we've done and what we're getting ready to do here in the next years to come. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tom.
Good. All right, let's do it.
Well, I think that wraps it up. I want to say, just to close this here, Don Everett here is, you couldn't have gotten a better partner than him. He's a CPA, but he also was a farmer. He had his own dairy plant. So combine all that know-how together and you have a Reykjavik Creamery. Without him, there wouldn't be any Reykjavik Creamery. So I really want to be very grateful to Don, and of course so many other here. We have Susan here, we have a lot of, I could go on, but what we have been so fortunate here is the great people we have here, all the employees. And I can tell you, there hasn't been one single person that has left this company because they wanted to go somewhere else. And I think that speaks a little bit for itself. And that's how we want to do it, because the team is everything. And in food production, where food safety is the key, you need to have people that are really invested in what they are doing and really think about and take care of everything around it. So thank you so much for coming here today. It's been a tremendous honor and opportunity to have you here, and I look forward to work with you guys in the future and see if we can keep growing here. We have tremendous opportunities and ways to fund things here on our own based on the continued success we are seeing currently. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Hey.
That's what I mean. We don't have any cameras or anything. We just that's what I mean. I'm pretty sure PCN did us. So.
Okay.
Emily, you're gonna see this stupid little piece of white paper on the side of the radio.
this product is a Greek product, so it's not quite as thick as what you see with Painterland. I don't know how it runs yet. So that's what it'll be. That's me. You'll be filling 60 days.